So that's one of the things about San Diego that we can live 360 days a week. So what you cannot do in Mexico or you cannot do in Montana. So we got this perfect weather for that. And we want to tell you a little bit about us. Earlier today, Lisa told you a little bit about the overview of what Senior Green is all about. So we're going to go into a little bit more of an operational side of it there when we were 30 years ago, where we are today. So my name is Daryush, and
Not use this. Nancy.
Yes. Hold it closer. Okay. You're working the technical stuff. So after retiring, my predecessor was saying is that I worked in electronics and I grew up in a farm. This is really isn't my bleeding, being on the farm, being refresher. As you can tell, the skin of my skin is getting really, really dark because of all this consumption as the sun said. I joined because I want to give back. I want to do something that not only I can enjoy, but other people will enjoy through my labor. So next slide, please. So we want to provide quality food, otherwise wasted, to those needing it the most, while giving the meaningful activity to seniors. So as far as I know, in San Diego County, we are the only senior 55 plus group that goes out there wasted fruit, vegetables, and other things, and is otherwise going to be wasted. Earlier today, Lisa mentioned something about SB 1383 and what an impact it had. And one of the things that we did, it helped us prevent a lot of food otherwise would have been wasted or thrown away. So we are collecting it not only from the farms and from the backyards and everything else, but also from grocery stores. Senior cleaners, as you all know, not only collects food from the forest, but also the grocery store, specialty produce, things like that. So we are encompass the entire, the whole group. Next slide, please.
Having listened to a couple of other volunteer groups, I think we're very different in that respect that we are seniors. So sometimes when I show up at the door, ring the bell, homeowners kind of surprised to see a gray hair lady coming to do the work. But we can do it.
So, a little bit about our history and what makes us tick. Currently, we have divided the San Diego County in 5 different geographically located teams. We have Central, we have North County, East County, South Bay, and Cardinal. To give you an idea, we covered from the Mexican border all the way to San Bernardino County. So we have a huge area to cover, and we have many different varieties of trees that we do. So depending on the time of the year, we pick, in the wintertime, we pick persimmons and pomegranates, things like that. Starting at about end of December and all the way to maybe May, we pick mostly citrus. We do all different types of business, and the different quantities could be 1 tree or 1,000 trees. So we did quite a few there. Next slide. So that's an example. For example, the tree that we picked just one. And the next slide. So give you a little bit of background. This is in Puma Valley, and Puma Valley is maybe about an hour and 15 minutes from here. And this orchard is all persimmons, and it's 1,000 trees. And the person that actually has this orchard, they were selling to Whole Foods, and because of the persimmons wasn't big enough, and the Whole Foods standard, their meat is standard as festival there. And guess how many pounds over the 3 times that we in their pit? 19,200 pounds. So go figure 19,000 pounds of persimmons, and everybody San Diego County got persimmons. Wanting it or not, they got it. And it was a combination of different teams. So this was mostly for North and North group there, but they also invited other groups to go. And we have a senior community van that we brought in, a bunch of people who have their trucks. We also have big groceries for people assisting the homeless people at their van as well. And so we loaded up everybody in a sense.
And before this thing, many of the gleaners had no idea what Simmons are. And now they're all big fans.
And they keep asking, when is the next time we pick percents? And I'll tell you, I don't know if you had how many of those picked percents before? Okay, well that's good. The thing about the percentage is it's so easy to pick, but the trees are typically maybe like 15 feet maximum. And this orchard, as you see, was well manicured, and they cut the top of the trees down, so it was pretty easy to pick. And no thorns to worry about. So on the ground was nice and flat. And once in a while, we go for horse to worry about, but other than that, it was wonderful. So one tree or 1,000 trees. So we do it all, and that's what we tell everybody else that calls us. Can we go and pick one orange tree or one lemon tree? Yes, we can.
Don't turn away any of
So a little bit about senior leader structure. So next slide. We have basically our board of directors, and we have many people here from our board here. Lisa is here. She's the general manager. We have Pat Midley, our president, is here, and I don't think anybody else from our board is here. But that's we have. Quite a few people that they come also as a cleaner. We have 5 board members that are also they come in and do the cleaning as well as far as their duty service. We only have 2 part-time staff. Everybody else in our group, which is 207 people, is all 55 and over. And Lisa is part-time, as you mentioned earlier today, and Trixie is also our administrator. And she's as well, that's the part-time person. Next slide. Okay, this is the picture of some of the team leaders. As you see, they were in my backyard. I don't know if that's a little dated, but this was in our backyard there. And once in a while, we have a meeting there in my house or wherever it be. We can find a place there to have a meeting and talk about different things. Next slide. All right. So how do you start? As Lisa mentioned earlier today, we started as just this very small organization. About 3 or 4 people started this organization about 31 years ago now, because we had our 30th anniversary not too long ago. And now about 30, almost going into 32.
Yeah,
almost 32 years old. 32 years that we've been doing this. And it went from, just picking up the phone and saying, yes, you live in Central San Diego, so we have a lemon tree to pick, and we'll gather a few people and go pick it. That's pretty much it. We didn't have any fans, or we didn't have the whole structure of getting a very professional way of doing this. Next slide. Okay, we won a leadership award recently from City of San Diego, and that's Lisa receiving that the award there. Next slide. Next slide also. Okay. So now somebody earlier today asked about how do you do things, and I want to tell you a little about the Lean Web and how this works, and just want to kind of divide up a little bit, and Nancy's going to talk about the North County, how they do it, and how I do it in the circle. So Nancy, how do you get people involved, and how do they go?
We basically have 5, depending on the location, and I represent the North County, which covers the largest areas in the county. So there are challenges because we go from the coast to the inland. And then we try to cater so that people wherever they live would not have to travel as far. And so sometimes for small picks, we schedule several different areas spread around the area so people closer to where they live. And we operate a little differently because somehow I find that all the senior leaders have similar thinking and same personality. I think it takes a certain person to be a volunteer anyway. So we're very congenial, we're very social. We're not just cleaners, we're also a breakfast club. Because after each clean, we go out to breakfast. So it's a great activity for seniors. It gets you out of the house, be in the outdoors, and you socialize. So we get the physical, the mental, and the social benefits. After joining the senior gleaners, I find that I benefit more from the organization than they do from me. I really do, especially during the COVID. Oh, I would have gone crazy if I could complain.
So, how does the process work? We either get a phone call, or because a lot of us have a personal relationship with the homeowner, the grower, they'll call us personally. And they say, my lemons are red. But sometimes they're wrong because they're not red. So you have to go out there and check and see, because we had a grapefruit tree that they've been donating forever. And one of the grapefruit fell on the ground. And he panicked and said, oh, the grapefruits are falling. So we went there, and we only got like 65 pounds. And grapefruits, each one weighs about a pound. So needless to say, not that many. So we told the homeowner that, look, they're not ready yet. You have to come back. And some of the fruits, they, like avocados, for example, they ripen if you pick it. That's not a problem. But a lot of the citrus does. So what we do is we send a reconnaissance team, maybe one person just going in and checking the tree, make sure that they're ready, cut a piece, and make sure that they're sweet enough to, if we cannot eat it ourselves, we don't pick it. That's how it is. So we go out there, we check, make sure that the fruits are ready, make sure, how the ground is and all the safety stuff that we need to consider. And then what we do is we send, in my team example, I send the email on Fridays that, for example, says we have 3 trees, 1 is an orange, 2 is tangerines, and we need 6 people for this pick. And we request people to send their availability if they're available for that pick. And by Sunday, we know who's coming. So we notify the people that are coming that yes, you are coming to this meeting, or if there's more than one, which one you're coming to. Now, one of the things that is really, really interesting about our system, every time we do a clean, not only we put the weight, we put how many people came, the hours that they put in, but also how good was the fruits. If there's any special instructions, for example, they have a dog, or the grounds are the slope is very, very high, or there's other restrictions that the homeowner might say, for example, that leave the low-hanging fruits for me, or leave 10% of the fruit. So our league has all this information in it. So next year, when we need to look and see what this pick was all about, we have it all the details are there. So it makes it easier for us to schedule.
I also want to say that as crew leaders, we always have the safety of our leaders as the first priority. So a lot of times if the owner says, their backyard is very slope, very steep slope, we go and check it out, make sure it's safe for our cleaners. Like one of the resident property in North County, we went and checked, and it was steep. It was like a 45-degree. So how are we going to do this? We hate to see the fruit go to waste if they had quite a number of trees. So we worked it out with the owner, where the owner hired 2 workers to haul the fruit up in the buckets for us. So all the seniors have to do is just go down, and they've got little areas that are flat around each tree. So they can just stand there and pick, and the haulers will bring the fruit up and down. So that's how we saw that one.
So earlier today, there was a question about senior cleaners and senior. Your majority of people that are between 60 to 90. We have a 91 and 92-year-old. Now, of course, as you know, there are a lot of restrictions. So some of the teams would combine a person that, for example, who can haul the goods, or somebody who can climb the ladder, or the combination of the two that, yes, we need two haulers because this is the 100 lemon trees, for example, versus sanitary that we need to pick. So we need to have 2 to 3 people with the trucks that they can haul the food. Another thing that we do is we have leaders who cannot carry anything. So for example, we have a special, yes, there we go, thank you. We have, for example, I named Alice, for example, who comes in, and she is a hydration specialist. She always reminds us to hydrate, hydrate, and hydrate. And she has a special small little bucket that she brings with her to the thing there, so she carries it, just like a baby from the tree to the chocolate. So we make a provision for all of this. And we have some other people who come in, and for example, when we are picking the fruit, all they do is to weigh the fruit or put it in the crates that we have, so we can, they will keep track of it. Besides that, we also have people who do send out letters sometimes at the end of the year, we for help, or they do grant writing if you have somebody who can't do this and they're really good at it. So we find something. If you tell us that you want to be part of our organization, we find something for you to do. So it doesn't have to be that, yes, you cannot climb a ladder, or you cannot, hold a picker or big buckets or carry anything, but that's not the issue. We provide all this stuff for you. So let's talk a little bit about fundraising, outreach, and some of the other things that we do. In the middle that's Sarah Jacob. She's a representative, the House of Representative. That's there, and she came to our outreach that we had is called the Claremont Garden Tour. By the way, anytime we have it, if any city official, any representative for the government or politician, they always want to come to our little tent or our little event because we are doing something unique that no one else does. So they come in and in a way, we get not only the recognition but also give some funds directly to us if you write it directly. Next slide. We do quite a bit of outreach. As a matter of fact, on the second, which is on Saturday, we do the Claremont Garden Tour. There are about 450 people come in, and there's about 15 different gardens in the Claremont area that people can go to. So we set up a central location there, but not only we tell people about me, but also we educate. We tell them about all the things that are happening in the green world, and if there's any disease like Mexican fruit fly, for example, or citrus cysts, and anything else that's going on, we tell people about it. We have a sample of fruits, we give them some, we give them our brochures, and it's pretty interesting. Right afterward, we get a lot of volunteers and get a lot of food that's, oh yeah, I have a neighbor who's all these oranges are on the ground, so can you come and pick? So we get a lot of activity right after each one.
How often is that?
Well, so depending on which outreach. So the Claremont Garden Tour is once a year. We do a lot of other things. For example, Mount Helix is an area which is, there's so many different trees there. Unfortunately, that's the one that is most affected by the citrus, by the Mexican fruit fly. And for example, 12 of my picks were canceled even though they were scheduled because of the Mexican fruit flies that we were there and talking about that. And another thing is also not only we get clients, but also somebody said, we have a Point Loma garden, and you come to the Point Loma garden. Or Goodwill Sustainability that you need to come to, or they say Birds and Bees, which is coming out in 2 months, and you come to that as well. And these are all free to senior leaders. Even though everybody else has to pay, but we get to get there and to show what we are doing for the community, and we do it all over.
This is the way how we get volunteers
Yes.
and donors.
Yeah.
These outreach.
So we have a big presence on Facebook and Instagram. A lot of the pics afterward we put in how much you have and what do you do. And another thing that Nancy is involved in, you want Nancy, you want to talk a little bit about the funds we get from the city when we do a pick? Especially you pick a tree and you pick and you go and you report.
Yes. We pick any amount from 1 tree to 1,000 trees. And sometimes we go back 2 or 3 times to make sure we cover it.
You also, what is the funding that you get from city? Is it a city senate or that you pick one tree, pick all the fruit, and you weigh it, and you report it?
Well, this is the HO has a project right now that we're it's a research project that we can pick a tree and do some data collection and send it back to Sean. And it's for, study of food waste. This is national. So it's not just any that we're
Yes, you're all eligible to participate. Raise your hand if you have participated in the SARE measurement project. Okay, fantastic. If you have questions, please ask me or Sean. The project continues through the 2026 bleeding season, so don't stop submitting your measurements. There's a brief training and a process to follow. But how much money did you collect? Do you know?
Yes.
How much?
I think it's I'm on to number 37, so it'll be 3,700.
How much?
3,700.
So all of your organizations can earn over $3,000. We've got organizations earning $5,000 for doing this. That's not chump change. So if your organization isn't doing it, get on it. And it's US only, I'm sorry.
It is.
That's okay, we're actually doing a similar program in Baja, California.
Great.
For wildlife and local farm mouse tracking.
Excellent, excellent.
Thank you for that, Patty. Community partnership, which also includes Pick for Purpose. So we have a new thing that is Doug Cooper, who is also a board member with us. It's starting this and it's been quite successful. One of the companies that Doug get a hold of or talks to quite a bit is Cox Communications, which is a really big communication company in San Diego. So we approached them and asked them if they're willing to donate to senior cleaners and send some of their employees to come and clean and also give the volunteer hours that they need for their organization. And it's a win-win situation. So we just had a pick in Hamul, which is not too far from here, maybe 30 miles from here. And there's quite a few trees and many different types of fruit trees there. So Cox Communications sent 15 of their employees there, and they were so enthusiastic. They came in all ready to go, and they picked almost 900 pounds, give or take, and all different types of fruits there. And they got the volunteer hours, we got the money, and it was a great exposure. And I tell you, this is the second time we've done it, and each time they come in, they're more enthusiastic because the word gets around. It is a fun thing to do, to be in the sun, enjoy each other's company, and do something for the community. So this is another partnership that senior communities has. So this is $1,000 question, maybe more. Why 50,000 more? And what's in it for the seniors, and why we do it, and what are some of the challenges? So the organizers decided that seniors need something, and most of us don't sit at home and watch TV or waste our time. And this way, we can get out there in the sunshine, meet a lot of interesting people, and also do something good for the community. We have 270 people right now in our group there, and like Nancy said, it's actually more of a social thing than anything else. I have a 93-year-old gentleman that comes to these meetings, and we asked him, "What do you do? What's it for you?" He says, and I asked, or I think Rita, my wife, asked him, what is the secret of your longevity? And also figured that he says social, being social, being out there. And he's always out there. He He still does the picking, no more climbing ladders, of course, we just don't want him to get on the ladder. It is so important for him to be out there, to be in the sunshine and meeting other people. We celebrate each other's birthday, we have cakes there, we have breakfast, either on the ground or before we go out to practice. And if somebody's sick or something happened to somebody, we're the first one to know. And that's one thing that a lot of the seniors complain about, that we don't have a tool or on board, and that senior leaders actually is satisfied that. So, you want to add anything else?
You have to drive and find your way. That's something all seniors better.
So, I want to tell you a little bit about the challenges. So, what are the challenges? Of course, when you have a 80 or 90-year-old person, there are other challenges. One of them being that they might get sick, or they don't want to travel long ways, or they cannot drive, so they have to carpool with somebody else. So that's one thing. And also, if you have a big pig or it's a faraway pig, bathroom becomes an issue too. And that's one thing that you have to be thinking about. So there are some things that we can do something about, but there's something that we can't. So, for example, we don't have any way of having a porta potty at every pig. But we try as much as possible, to have, for example, all the right equipment for them, making sure that we have the right mixture of people. If they drive, we have a carpool available. For my team, we have a carpool site that they all meet, and we have a senior cleaner van that we can have about 6 people at the senior cleaner van, so we can go to the pick together. And for me, it's very social thing, just getting to know each other, talk about things, and drink some coffee or donuts, whatever happens. By the way, I'm a donut keep the senior cleaners. That's everybody, so they don't know about that. Anything else, Nancy, you want to?
And we even socialize other than cleaning. Because we have lot of money.
And then the parent, the children also, they really like what senior leaders are doing. At the end of the year, they do donation to senior leaders because they know that senior leaders is something not only for their parents but also for the community. For minutes. So Lisa earlier today mentioned, all the how much we gleaned, 419,000 pounds. Number of pigs, 753 pigs last year. And we also have volunteers that want to check our organization for they are not 55, so we have a special release form so they can contact it if they choose to. So that's another way. We have a special event sometimes. We bring your grandchildren to the pig. We have the cleaner who take their grandson to the pig, so we do that as well. And then our volunteers, can you imagine, they put 7,569 hours for free for our organization, which is free. So I just want to open it up right now for any questions that anybody has. If you want to know, that we're more than happy to answer. Yes?
I can't wait to be 55.
Oh, well, you can join us as a volunteer. Sign it, release form and join us. It is a lot of fun. Now we have quite a few people that they come out. And one other thing I was going to mention yet again, as part of the challenge, there sometimes we get people who are very enthusiastic about cleaning, and when they come, they say, "Oh wait, this is physical labor." I don't think I want to do physical labor. But which is fine, they have to try that, and that's just, that's how it works.
I just want to also address about insurance because that was brought up by other groups. I think we're lucky, and please correct me if I'm wrong, Lisa. We're under the umbrella of the county RSVP program, so they provide insurance for us, cover us while we're cleaning. And there's also the Good Samaritan law that covers the homeowners, that they don't have no liability if we way after we do what's not done.
You have a question?
Yes. I work for an organization. We aren't seniors, but most of our seniors are seniors. And I'm always thinking of like not just for seniors, but for everyone, like ergonomics, etc. And like, you know, trying to put people in the right path as we were talking about. Can you speak more about a little bit about like how long you're sleeping and like what kind of things would you suggest others would be watching out for to make sure we're taking care of like the longevity of sleep?
Yeah, great question. So here's one question that comes up a lot of times, you know, when you send the welcome email to the cleaners or somebody who wants to come cleaner, we let them know what they should bring, for example, comfortable shoes, clothing, you know, like the long sleeves and some equipment that they need. You also tell them they can bring as long as they want. If they carpool with us, we typically clean about 2 to 3 hours. And of course, for me, it's a little bit longer because then I have to deliver the food to the countries or the organizations. So there's no limit. You can do it one day, you can do it once a month, you can do it a couple of months a year, whatever you want to. Because you have snowbirds who go back and forth between Kansas City and here, and then they clean 2 times and they're gone. And we have some people in Utah that they're here and they see the joke. So there's no limit in terms of hours that you can clean, how many times, how many days you clean. So we have no restrictions as far as that's concerned. That answers your question.
Yeah.
2 to 3 hours. Very good question. No, we have some people who come and sit a little bit and socialize and talk, and then that's it. They clip a couple of leaves off the grapefruit tree or something, and that's pretty much it. But they're happy to be there and meet their friends. For some of them, it's very social. It is out there being out of the house and seeing some of their friends. And no, there's no limit on that. Very flexible.
All that well, it's hard.
Hello?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask because it really came my attention when you mentioned that all the benefits that you have as social benefit and mental things and stuff. Have you done any kind of, I don't know, study or something where you communicate the impact of stay active during that stage of life to communicate with others or something like that?
Yeah, so that's a very good question. Yes, we have a voluntary appreciation coming up on May 9th. So all the volunteers, they come in and they share some of their thoughts with everybody else in the group there. And what's so fun about them to come, and what benefits they get. So we do voluntary appreciation once a month, and that's coming up on the May 9th. Once a year we do that. So we're making sure that they thank them for their service, and then there's like they get little trinkets or little entry door prizes or bingos, so those kind of things. Right? So yes, we have this. And another thing that also we do is if you cannot meet, you could be a van driver. You could be going picking groceries. We have a few people who do not want to go and be on the field. They don't mind to go to farms or outlets or trading shows over and pick groceries and deliver. So we do provide them with other services.
We don't have any data specific.
There is data. There's research that's been done on this, but we can kind of.
Well, thank you everyone. I appreciate you.
Thank you very much for the Nancy and Daryush. We have a little appreciation gift there.
Thank you.
I think you're not supposed to move, so don't even think about it. Tomorrow we start at 8 a.m. and I love that last question, and Lisa, if you could get that information out to us, we want to hear it, because I think that's really important. A way to sell our programs is look at what it does to my mental health, my spiritual health, my physical health, being in nature, reconnecting to your food sources. Those are selling points that we need to all of us to use to our best of our ability.